What's up guys, Protagonist here, and today I'll be doing a brand new deck profile on the Gear Chronicle Next Stage deck from the audio support from Try3 Next. So, this time, my friend Wei actually has added cards from the brand new set, such as CrossOver Dragon, into his Next Stage deck. This deck is basically the whole Gear Cancel deck that you guys have been waiting for, so we didn't intend to release this deck because this deck is quite cancerous, but however, since the tournament's over, my friend Wei has decided to review his deck list. So I hope you guys enjoy this deck profile, and leave a comment below on what you guys think, and maybe some cards you think that we could add in, and we can update in the next deck profile. So let us begin. First up, with our grade 3s, we have 4 copies of Chronojet Dragon G. This is basically Chronojet's form in this season. Is an upgrade to its previous Chronojet. For example, his first skill is the Strike Break skill. Whenever you perform Strike, you may call one card from your hand to your field, and you can perform Time Leap on one of your units. This is amazing because you can pretty much Time Leap your favorite units, such as Chronojet, to get more cards into your hand, to get more Chronojets into your hands and fields, and of course get a free grade 1 for 1 turn. And of course many other cards, which is like the stand trigger. Sometimes you have to stand in your opening hand. When you open during your turn, you draw this stand. You could actually just call it out, time leap it, get a free card, and get a free grade 1 as well. So that is pretty amazing skill. I really like this skill because it is not redundant skill. So for example, this skill might not be worth because you need to Count Blast, but it's still very good to get stuff off your opponent's field. So 4 copies of Chronojet G. His first skill is also pretty awesome. For every 2 face-up cards in a G zone, this unit gives us 5k power. It's GB1 skill. It isn't GB1 skill. So it is used mostly in relation to next stage. After next stage, you can unwrite, and it attacks for high number because you have a lot of face-up cards in your G zone. So yeah, that's pretty much Chronojet G, a very, very good card. Of course, next up we play 3 copies of Chronojet Dragon original form, OG Chronojet Dragon. When you perform Stride, you can Count Blast 1 and send back 1 card on your opponent's field to the bottom of his deck. So very good control card in case you need snipe or some rear guards. And GB2, when this unit attacks the Vanguard, this unit gets 5k power, and your opponent can use grade 1 cards to guard. So your opponent can't use perfect guards. So it's a pretty good card. So either target's a great right target because it both has the Chronojet in the name, so that you can perform your next stages and pull off many of the other cards in this deck. Alright, so that's the grade 3s. Gotta put them one side. Next up, grade 2s. 4 copies of Pulsar Shift Bullet Dragon, I'm sorry. So what Shift Bullet does is, he is our brand new card from Try3 set. When you control a Chronojet Vanguard, it is a 11k beat stick, so very good because you can solo against your opponent's units. And as another skill is, at the end of the turn, you can play a cost of 1 Count Blast and retire this unit. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 cards with Chronojet in its name that has different names. So this is why we actually play 2 copies of Chronojet, 2 different Chronojets, so that you can like basically search them both out. So basically Count Blast 1, retire this unit, search your deck for 2 Chronojets, and add one of them to a Red Guard circle and put the rest of them into your hand. So you could like pretty much retire, Count Blast 1, search call this and add this to your hand, or you could like call this, add this to your hand. Either way, you can choose. So it's great because it is like a +1. And of course, there are many cards that once you have Chronojets in the drop zone, so it's the fastest way to get Chronojets into your hands. So it's a pretty good card because it's a +1. Alright. So the next grade 2 we play is the infamous grade 2, this Time Break Dragon, right? This Time Break Dragon. Basically what this does is, when this unit attacks the Vanguard, even if it's unboosted, you can Counter Blast 1, and you can perform Time Leap on one of your rear guards. So it's good because you can use it with the whole Disgusting Malum combo. This is why we call it the Elite 4 in Singapore or in Asia. You basically use Malum, go into this guy, then use Time Break Dragon. Well, History Maker Dragon, sorry, it's History Maker Dragon, and Time Leap to Malum again, do another attack again, come again. Sometimes check a stand trigger again, stand again, attack, comes Malum again. Now this is why the whole deck is really damn dumb, because it has so much combos and it's very, very powerful. It's a very, very powerful deck. So yep. So alright. So 4 copies of History Maker Dragon because it is the whole heart of the grade 2, the best grade 2 in the game. Yeah, probably because it count +1 gives you additional attacks, additional cards into your hand. Too good to be true. Alright, so let's go on to another two. Actually, play 3 more grade 2s. Two of these guys is basically a very good early game card because he doesn't have a GB1 skill. So even if you're grade 2 right, write a grade 2, call this, send back one of your opponent's card back into your deck and give you a -1. Basically, its skill is when this unit enters the rearguard circle, select one of your opponent's rearguards and he shuffle it back into his deck and downgrade once. So very good because let's say your opponent has a grade 0 rearguard, aka starter, send it back to the deck. It's not coming out because there's nothing negative grade 0. There's nothing below grade 0. So basically if you send back a starter, it's going for good. If you send back a grade 1, it's going to become grade 0. So use this wisely, only use this on the starters. Very good card for control because starters are very important for many of the decks. One snake, early game war. So write this and you have a 10k war. Your opponent, easy to guard early game, I guess. Right, that is grade 2s. Right, grade 1s we play 4 copies of Malum. No Gear Chronicle is broken without Malum. Malum, when this unit attacks the Vanguard, it may gain plus 4k power. If you do, at the end of the battle, shuffle back into a deck and search for a deck for grade 0 rearguard and call it to a rearguard at rest. You can call it to any rearguard circle in rest, so you can shift it a bit. So most of the time what we do is we call this guy, History Maker, go back to deck, draw one card, call another one, attack again. Cool. Then if you think you can't do any more time leaps, go for him so that you can go additional defense. I'll be going through his skill later on and you'll know why this card is actually pretty good. Pretty damn good. Actually, it's very good. Especially against Outmao. It basically shuts off Outmao 100k rush combo just because of one small combo which I will show you later on. So you want to destroy card protagonists. It's your best chance. We can gear cancer. Right. So 4 copies of the Affiliate Vanguards. Basically very important because this deck eats a bit of Comblast, so you want to have more Comblast for more goodies, counter charge. Alright, so 3 copies of Strike Helpers. Help you search for Chronojet, doesn't matter right now because all of them is Chronojet, and basically helping for Strike because it's a Strike deck. Right, so 2 copies of Cute Chick. I don't know what's her name, it's just basically a very cute chick. When this unit is called from the deck to a rearguard circle, you may pay the cost of resting this unit. If you do, draw 1 card, select one of your rearguards and you get us 4k power. Very good because most of the time you can time leap Chronojet into her, tap 1, draw 1 free card, and gain plus 4k fixed magic numbers. Okay, because fixing magic numbers means your opponent have to cut more, which is good. And yeah, anyway, she goes back into deck during the end turn, so it's fine. 2 copies. 1 copy of Takeaway Dragon. Takeaway Dragon is very good. Whenever a timely abilities activates on your field, you can select 1 card in the drop zone and send it back to the bottom of the deck. Most of the time, we will send back stuff like heal triggers. This deck heals a lot, like easily heal 4 times in 1 game. This is why this deck can tank so much. And sending back cards also prevents you from decking her after drawing so much. So Takeaway Dragon is a very good card. We only play 1 copy because we can tutor out with Gear Chronicle. Gear Chronicle is an amazing deck. He has resenders, he has tutors, he has draw power, he has everything a clan ever needs or ever wants. So that's a great 1 lineup. Pretty standard and straightforward, very powerful. Alright, let's go on to trigger lineup. So we play mixed rainbow triggers. Play 4 crits, Chronojet crits. When the Chronojet Vanguard attacks, go into soul, draw 1 card and plus 5k to Chronojet. Very good card, especially when you're next staging, I guess. Mostly there to fill up the soul and give you the +1 crit. And it's just a cycle of hand. Sometimes you draw too many crits, you can just call it a field and hopefully draw into a booster on a unit later on. 4 copies of Awata. Awata is one of the Elite 4, we so call it. Basically, it's one of the 4 pieces of combo in the deck. When this unit is sent back to the deck, sent to your bind zone, you may pay the cost of putting it back into your deck. If you do, so draw 2 cards and put one of those cards back into your shuffle back into your deck. So very good. So basically, what you do is when you time leap him, you get to draw 2 cards and then select 1 card from your hand and put it back to the bottom of the deck and shuffle the deck. So basically, very good card. It's a +1 instant whenever you time leap it. Next up, 2 copy of this cat. Vainglory Gear Cat. So it's a very good card. What it does is whenever a card is put, whenever a rear is put from your opponent's field back into his deck by one of the card effects, choose one of your other units. Other units means you can choose either your Vanguard, even during your opponent's turn. The main use of this card is during your opponent's turn, where he's gonna attack you. You send back one of his cards, send this card back into your deck, I believe. Yeah, send this card back in your deck and give your Vanguard plus 10k power. 10k power means 2 triggers into it. Instantly 2 triggers, making it an instant 21k base Vanguard, which means you're probably gonna easy guard everything else. So if I against deck has multiple attacks, no problem. My Vanguard is now 21k. Most likely you goes max. I'm gonna guard you for 5k only, which this is why this card's freaking amazing. 2 copies, and the best part is it could be searched out by Malum. So your last Malum attack, you could go for her, leave it on the field. Next turn, bounce. How we normally bounce stuff is we bounce back with Hetero Round. Hetero Round selects one of your opponent's rear guards and bounce back to your hand. Bounce back to your deck, so you can trigger its skill and make a Vanguard Iron Tank. 2 copies of draw, because that's fine, I guess. 4 copies of Gear Mouse. Few triggers, very important because we play a lot of G Guardians in this deck. And G Guardians for Gear Chronicles is very broken. It's one of the best in the game. So I'll be going through their effects later on. So that's our grade 0 triggers. Now we have two rear guard. I mean 2 starters. Most likely this is going to be a starter. I believe this Wei's deck, and this is going to be in the deck because I believe in Japan we can use, in Japanese meta we cannot use TikTok as a starter. So we use Chronojet as a starter. So this is a great. Whenever your rear guard attacks, at the end of battle, send this card back into your soul, and you can time leap one of the units. So what we do is we time leap stuff like Malum. And Malum is so good in this deck. So what we do shit like this. Attack, alright, goes back to the deck. Then it goes to the soul. So you can pretty much just call, since you time leap Malum, she will become like a grade 2. And then you can go to a grade 0. Like that. You can have another column, which is very nice. Yep. Yeah, I believe that's how it's done. Alright. So basically, 1 card for 2 cards, and yeah, it's just too good. This deck is just too good. I have no idea why Bushido made Time Leap so broken. Well, good for Gear Chronicle players, I guess. And this 1 card can not only be used 1 copy in Gear Chronicle, so yeah, 1 copy. So Chronojet, most guys know when you guys get Time Leap, you can wait, give me a sec. Yeah, when this card is placed on the bind zone, right, you can place it into the soul, search your deck for one Chronojet and call it your rear guard circle, and then basically Time Leap. When this guy get Time Leap, and then you can call grade 1. Most likely we could call this card. And at the turn, this card goes back to your deck, and Chronojet after attacking goes back into your hand. So it's pretty simple. So yeah, it's a great starter, I guess. Alright, let's go on to the G units. Right. The first unit we have here is the brand new card, Interdimensional Dragon, CrossOver Dragon. Yep. Interdimensional Dragon, CrossOver Dragon. So basically what it does is, Generation Break 3. If you have a hard card with Chronojet, so if you have Chronojet, search your deck for up to 2 cards with Counterblast 2, search your deck up for up to 2 cards with Chronojet the name and call it different names and call into your rear guard circle. So what you do is call this and this. 2 Chronojets to your rear guard circle, and both of them give a skill. Choose this unit and other one of your rear guards with the Chronojet in the card name and put them in your soul. If this unit attack hits the Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, send all of your Vanguards. So this is actually pretty good because when this card attacks, okay, what we do is normally we attack with our Vanguard, right? Alright, triple drive, fine, we get triggers, check triggers, attack, attack. Oh, let's say this attack hits. Okay, you trigger a skill. Place 1 card with Chronojet and itself and 1 card with Chronojet the name into the soul, and then resend the Vanguard, and Vanguard get attacked again. So this is actually pretty good because this ensures your opponent have to guard every single attack, otherwise you gotta stand the Vanguard again and he's gonna get wrecked definitely. So I think 1 copy is fine in this deck because it is a bit hard to pull off and it's kinda late game. It's GB3, which is okay, honestly it's not that hard, right? Yeah, so you could actually play this, it's actually quite good. Come think about it. Right, that is our new card from Tri-Tree, Crossover Dragon. So 4 copies of next stages. Next stage, pretty self-explanatory. At the end of a turn that this unit attacks the Vanguard, you may pay a cost of flipping itself face up, discard a Con plus 1 and discard 3. If you do, unwrite and become a grade 3 and attack again. So basically it's a restander. Very good card. A staple in 4. You could use Gear Groovy. So you could replace one of these for Gear Groovy if you want. My friend plays 4, but he doesn't play Gear Groovy. No idea why. Not gonna question. So 2 copies of Interdimensional Dragon, Warp Drive Dragon. Warp Drive is also one of the key cards in the deck. So basically its skill is Time Leap, activate once per turn. Con plus 1, Soul plus 1, and choose a face down card for G-Zone and turn it face up. You can turn out any card face up. Choose the same number of cards for your red cards equals to the number of face up Interdimensional Dragon Warp Drive. So what you do is first turn you could do Warp Drive, turn it face up. Then choose one of your, then you can perform Time Leap. Then choose one of your opponent's red cards with the grades equals to less than or equal to the number of cards in Time Leap to effect. So basically if you Time Leap one card, you can send back one of the opponent's grade 1s back into their decks. So it's very good because you can Time Leap your own stuff for pluses while minusing your opponent at the cost of 1 Con plus Soul plus, which is quite cheap, right? So next up we have another one is Metapulsar Altered Dragon. This is a new card. I don't know if it's a new card, never seen it before. So basically what it does is, it's quite interesting. It basically helps you fill up Bind Zone. He got a continuous skill. The cost of this strike may be also paid with Con plus 1 and choose a Gear Colossus or Zodiac Time Beast from your hand and bind it face up. So basically you do not need to discard a grade 3. So sometimes if you run out of grade 3s, you can actually use the skill of Con plus 1 and bind a Zodiac Time Beast so they can perform strike phase. So so it's actually good sometimes because we play a lot of Zodiac Time Beast in this deck. And the second skill is activate Vanguard once per turn, look at top 5 cards of the deck and search for up to 2 cards among them and bind them face up into your bind zone. Then shuffle your deck. And this unit gives us 2k for each card in your bind zone until end of turn. So basically sometimes you got a lot of cards stuck in the bind zone. This card can easily gain plus 10k power. And if the number of cards in your bind zone is 5 or more, counter charge 1. Yeah. So you basically have a free cost of its strike. So it's actually not bad, in case you do not draw a grade 3s, which happens sometimes. 1 copy of Metallica Phoenix. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, you may flip a copy of any card face up. So you could turn this face up if you want, so that next time you use it, you can flip something else. Yeah. And you can perform Time Leap. So Time Leap 1 stuff during battle is quite good, because sometimes we like to use Malum, because Malum is so broken. Malum attack into your stand trigger. Okay, Malum attack, becomes stand trigger, attack, go back Malum, draw 1 card, attack again, come back again, stand again, rest again, History Maker Dragon again, stand again. Yeah, so this is ridiculous. This deck is just dumb. If you guys watch my where I play Cardfight area with some dumb Metallica Phoenix deck, it actually works. It destroys Dimension Robos. So yeah, it's a lot of draw powers. Very easy, very powerful card. Right, next up is 1 copy of Sabris, just in case your opponent wants to play the Misgrade game. Punish them. Alright, now we go on to a very interesting choice of 6G Guardians. 6G Guardians, but why? Alright, the reason why, I asked Wei just now in Facebook, and the reason why he does this is because Gear Chronicle is one of the only deck in the game that has so many good G Guardians, and yeah, you try to utilize them all. So actually, if you want to play 4, it's fine. I'm just gonna go through the effects. You guys can slowly pick what you like. All right. So this is the very basic one from the very first G Guardians we had. So it's the GFC one. So basically, what its skills does is when this unit enters the Guardian Circle, you make select 2 cards in your drop zone and one non-trigger and 1 trigger card from your drop zone and shuffle it back to your deck. Very good card. The reason why is because you can shuffle back your stupid heal trigger. Oh, cool! I paid the cost of discarding 1 heal for a card. Now I can put that heal back into my deck so that I can basically get another heal, potentially get another heal later on. So this is why it's ridiculous. And you gain plus 5k shield. Yeah, easiest 5k shield ever. So basically, G Guardian. Put this back, maybe put put this card back into your deck if you need later on. Oh, recycle broken cards. Oh, so much fun. So 20k, easy 20k shield. Very, very good card. Next up is 2 Hetero Round Dragon. Hetero Round is amazing, especially against decks like Royal Paladins. Alright, so your opponent has 100k worth of rear guard. Oh, you have New Nectar with 100k rear guard. Oh, I'm so scared. Alright, so what this card does is, when this unit enters the Guardian Circle, Hetero Round Dragon, let me check. Yeah, when this unit enters the Guardian Circle, you may Soul Blast 1, and if you have Chronojet Vanguard, so of course we are going to play Chronojet Vanguard, since it's a Chronojet deck, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and your opponent return that unit back into your deck. Oh, so the power gain is all gone. Well, congrats, sucker. So basically this is so good, because most of the time the way we attack in this game is we usually attack with the smallest number, then the biggest number. So for example, we have 2 trigger pump here, 1 trigger pump here. We attack with the 1 trigger pump. Alright, cool, I'll use this and guard this and send this back, and it becomes shit. And of course, yeah, send it back to the deck, and your opponent shuffle the deck and look at the top of the deck and call it to a record circle. Oh, who knows, we might actually just call it a heal trigger, which is useless as shit later on. So this is why this card is so good. At the cost of 1 Soul Blast, you're not only guarding 1, you're going to destroy their columns. And let's not forget that we have the simply amazing send trigger, which is the Kitty trigger. When the card is sent back to your opponent's deck, your Chronojet gains plus an additional 10k power, which is like 2 trigger checks. Yeah, so it becomes 21k until the end of turn. Yeah, so your opponent's amount is gonna, oh shit, it's like gonna be like 5k guard each. Alright, I just might as well scoop, right? Yeah, Hetero Round, very powerful card. Next up we play one copy of her. I think it's an SP pack, right? No, it's not SP. I remember we had an SP. So Highbrow Maidens, Rafana. Rafana is great because when this is based on Guardian Circle, you may pay the cost by sending 1 card on your field, grade 1 or 1 greater card from your field back into your deck. Search your deck for a grade 0 and it gives a 10k shield. Easy 25k shield. Oh, so you want a grade 0? Cool, guess who I'm gonna call? Yeah, stuff like this, or you can basically search anything you want. So that's the fun part. You can search for this if you next turn want to do some disgusting combos, or you could go for your TikTok starter. Where's my TikTok? You could go for this so that you can use it next turn. So yeah, it's, you're pretty much not losing anything. It's just an easy 25k shield. And finally, the last one is the SP that we put in the stream. Right, this one is Highbrow Steam Arlim. Choose up to 2 cards with Chronojet in the name that has different names in either your hand or drop zone, and reveal them and put them at the bottom of the deck in any order. So when this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, you may pay the cost. And then most likely the cost, you like, okay, I paid my strike with using my 2 Chronojets, alright, it's in the drop zone. So come to the Guardian Circle, guard for skill, activates, shuffle those Chronojet back into my bottom of the deck, back to the bottom of the deck. Then I can basically gain plus 15k shield, 30k shield easy with this skill. 30k shield, that's pretty much so much better than Perfect Guard. Right. So this is why this card is freaking amazing, because Guild Chronicle has so many good G Guardians. Everything is good, but so many utility. You could either send back stuff your opponent's field, so send back to the deck, gets a tutor stuff while guarding, or just straight up power guard. So yeah. So that's the reason why he plays 6 G Guardians. Use utility, but you guys can pick up and choose 4 if you want. Choose your favorite 4. 6 is fine because my friend we never run out of strides. Yeah, because we have a lot of good strides, and most of the time when we use it in our next stage, your opponent's dead already, so it doesn't matter. So I hope you guys enjoy my awesome deck profile on my friend's Wei's Gear Chronicle deck, aka Gear Cancer. Be sure to add me on Facebook and subscribe for more awesome deck profiles. Peace out and love you guys. Rawr.